Compelling evidence of life after death, true recorded stories. Have you ever wondered if there's life after death? This video presents astonishing evidence from recordings of people believed to be communicating from the afterlife, confirmed by the living. Imagine your phone rings and you find the voice on the other end belongs to someone who's been dead for 20 years. This happened to several people, including for who received calls from Dr. Konstantin Rodive, a writer, psychologist, and philosopher who passed away 2 decades ago. During these calls, Rodive spoke fluently, referenced personal experiences, used his distinctive accent, and discussed his work on recording afterlife voices. The first call. Sarah Estep, one of the researchers who received a call from Rodive, shares her experience. The first call came on January 27, 1994. I was working in my office when the phone rang. A clear male voice said, "This is Konstantin Rodive." I quickly pressed the record button and asked, "How are you, Dr. Rodive?" He replied, "I'm as fine as a dead one can be." His dry humor and clear communication were unmistakable.
These calls were made to 3 EVP experimenters in the United States. The first segment, lasting 40 seconds, came through my telephone at approximately 10:45 a.m. on January 27, 1994. My telephone rang normally. I was sitting at the desk in my office working. When I picked up the receiver, a clear male voice said, "This is Konstantin Rodive." I quickly pushed the record button of my Sano tape recorder that is connected to my telephone and asked, "How are you, Dr. Rodive?" This explains his first remark as my tape recorder began recording. "I'm as fine as a dead one can be." It is important to note he heard my question and responded to it in an appropriate way, perhaps showing a dry sense of humor. After that, he went on to complete his message, calling me by name and again saying his name at the end. You will then hear me say, "Thank you so much." You will notice there is no dial sound as he ends his contact, which you normally hear under usual phone call conditions. Others who have received phone calls from the other side have also remarked on the absence of dial tones.
I'm as fine as a dead one can be. Dear Sarah, thank you very much for everything you did for the propagation of the voices. We tried and we succeeded in building this bridge to the States. You are one of the first who are contacted by this meaning. Thank you very much for all the work you did. We are very proud and honored that we could contact you. I must interrupt now. This was the first contact. This was Konstantin Rodive speaking.
Thank you so much.
The second call. In the 1970s, George Meek and medium Bill O'Neill built a device called Spiritcom, similar to a shortwave radio, where they had live conversations with people in the afterlife. In a subsequent recording, Bill O'Neill spoke with Dr. George Jeff Muller, a NASA scientist and professor who died in 1967 to prove his identity. Muller provided his social security number and life details, all of which were verified as true.
I said, could you wait a moment, sir?
Very well.
Yes, sir.
What's wrong?
Nothing's wrong, sir. Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I'm just adjusting the frequencies.
Oh, I see. All right, very well. By the way, will you?
Yes, sir.
Did you call it those telephone numbers I gave you?
No, sir.
Why not?
Well, Dr. Mueller, those are unlisted telephone numbers.
That's correct.
All right, now if oh boy, even though I give, when they answer and I give the code, even then, sir, wouldn't they wonder, maybe there's another code or something, and considering what they're involved in,
Worry about that.
yes, but I do, sir. I do worry about that, sir. That one fellow especially, sir, that, you said he has a Q clearance?
That's correct. Secret.
A secret, Q clearance. Supposing they found out it was me, okay? And they wanted to know how I got a hold of the unlisted telephone number. Now, who would believe where I got these unlisted... Oh, boy.
The third recording. Another area of recording voices from the afterlife is instrumental. Transcommunication ITC. Leading researcher Sonia, Rinaldi in Brazil and Sherry Pearl in New York have successfully captured many such voices. In these recordings, researchers or the deceased relatives ask questions, and when the recording is played back, clear responses can be heard.
Something to me in English to let me know I should use this.
I speak in English.
Would you like to leave a message to your mother?
Mommy, I can talk.
Adam, it's Mom. I want to know, are you at peace?
Danny, can you say, I love you, Mom?
I'm sure you're doing great. We love you and miss you.
Daddy. No, love you. Night.
Alexandria, are you happy? Hi, Tyler. I love you, baby.
Direct mediums. Direct voice mediums allow people whose bodies died years ago to speak audibly to the living who knew them. In one session, a famous Shakespearean actress who died in 1928 spoke in 1965, saying, "There is no need to fear crossing from your world to this one. It is the great adventure into a larger world of love and beauty." These recordings show that those who communicate from the afterlife retain their voices, personalities, and memories. They acknowledge current events and recall past experiences. These voices provide strong evidence that while our bodies may die, our essence continues to exist.
There is no need to fear the crossing from your world to this. It is the great adventure. It is the great awakening into a greater world of loveliness and beauty and freedom of thought. Truly this is a spiritual world, but not as man has depicted it. Indeed, it is so different and so tremendously alive, so vital, so tremendously, as it were, so far removed from man's conception of things that it cannot be depicted or described. One can only feel it and know it and sense it. It is so vast and so beautiful. Do not fear that passing from your world to this. No one need fear For this is a world of love and true brotherhood, and all who come will be shown the path and the way. There is no need for fear, for God truly is love, and this is a world of love in which all who dwell are seeking to uplift themselves from stage to stage in evolution to a greater sense of reality and power of the Spirit. All is good if man will but seek it and find it. Man will progress from the depths to the heights. All is here for man to experience joy. It is truly the life of the Spirit, but it is the spiritual existence far removed from man's ideas and man's conception.
You will come to the end of this life, but you will never die.